Namaste, welcome. I'm Peggy Shapiro, the National Director of Special Projects for Stand With Us.
And Shalom, I'm Suhag Shukla, Hindu-American Foundation's Executive Director and co-founder.
I'll tell you a little bit about ourselves. I was born in a refugee camp in Germany. I'm the daughter of Holocaust survivors.
I was born in California to parents who had left India to pursue the American dream. I'm a product of the 70s.
My daughter is a product of the 70s. I studied speech and theater in college.
I studied economics and religion and then went on to law school. I thrive on adrenaline and work best under pressure, as you've seen this week.
I do everything ahead of time. In fact, I turned my term papers in 2 weeks early in college, and that did not make me popular. So we're so different. Yet, after our first meeting, which was to discuss a subject on which we disagreed, we discovered that despite our superficial differences, we had much more in common than either of us had expected.
That's exactly right. Our conversations about Hindu and Jewish commonalities has grown into a number of programs, joint study, even a booklet called 10 Things Jews and Hindus Have in Common. These 10 things just touch the surface of all that we share.
Today, we hope to shine a light on the darker side of our commonalities, Hinduphobia and anti-Semitism, and we're honored to have you join us to discuss what Jews and Hindus could learn from one another. Please answer our poll question, yes or no. Have you ever been to a Hindu-Jewish event? So what are the findings of the poll?
It looks like 65% of you have never been to a Hindu-Jewish event. So welcome. And I think that there's a lot to be learned today.
Great.
Well,
so
start.
We'll start. Yes, I think we're going to start by focusing on the positive. Suhag.
I think that's a good idea. And we really invite all of you to participate in the chat, to share any other commonalities that you're aware of between Hindus and Jews.
Okay, we have so much in common, but let's look at religious holidays. Both religions have festivals of light. Hanukkah, we light candles for 8 days in the darkest time of the year. We celebrate light, the triumph of light over darkness, both with our personal and external challenges. It commemorates the victory of the Jewish army over the ancient Syrians and Greeks that were by far a greater force. The victory was a miracle, as were the candles that burned for 8 days with only enough oil for one.
Well, Hindus have a festival of lights as well, and it's called Diwali. Diwali is one of the most widely celebrated Hindu festivals, not just in India, but around the world. It's celebrated over 5 days, each day holding a special significance. And overall, the festival commemorates the victory of good over evil, or the light of knowledge over the darkness of ignorance. So the first time I went to a Hindu, or rather a Jewish wedding, I think I about annoyed everyone around me, because every few minutes I was saying, oh, we do something like that. We do this. So one of those things is breaking something, having the groom step on something to symbolize an important aspect of getting married. So for Hindu weddings, when the groom enters, the bride's family welcomes them, and he's asked to step on a clay vessel. Now, this ceremony symbolizes the groom's demonstration of ability, strength, and determination to overcome any obstacles the couple may face in their married life. We also have something called a mandap, or manavarai, as it's called in South India. This is a central feature of the Hindu wedding. It's a temporary 4-poster structure with a canopy, and this is the sacred space for this important sacrament. The 4 pillars symbolize the 4 stages of life, from student to family to retiree to asceticism. And it's also said to symbolize the 4 aims of human life that the couple will pursue together: universal well-being, security and material prosperity, happiness, and a sense of wholeness.
So the bride and groom at a Jewish marriage ceremony, a Jewish wedding, are married under a canopy, or a chuppah, to signify their future home together. It has the sides open with the hopes that they will be open to others. And at the end of the ceremony, the groom shatters a glass as a reminder that even in our most joyous moments, we need to remember the destruction of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. I see it. Okay.
So let's talk about sacred homelands. India is the birthplace of not just Hinduism, but other dharmic traditions, including Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. The very landscape, every forest, tree, mountain, and river, and of course, places of pilgrimage, are tied to gods and goddesses, many of whom are believed to have taken earthly form to renew righteousness, as well as seers and sages who have guided billions in their spiritual journeys. Now, the beginnings of the Hindu way of life have been lost to antiquity, but most scholars would say that it dates back at least 5,000 years, if not more.
5,000 years is pretty indigenous, but Jews have lived in the land of Israel continuously for over 4,000 years, almost there. It is Israel's the birthplace of the Jewish people. It's central to our Jewish identity. We pray facing Jerusalem no matter where we are in the world. Jerusalem is mentioned over 800 times in our Bible. Judaism has no holy sites outside of what was ancient Israel. And today you can't stick a shovel in the ground in Israel without coming up with some artifact of Jewish history. So despite being the Jewish homeland and the only Jewish majority country in the world, Israel's home to people of many other religions, including Muslims, Christians, Druze, Samaritans, Hindus, Baha'is, Buddhists, Neo-pagans, African Hebrew Israelites, all of whom are free to practice or not practice as they choose. You see here the view of Jerusalem shows the cross of the Austrian hospice, the Dome of the Rock Mosque, Our Lady of Sorrows, an Armenian church. In the center, you see the beautiful Baha'i Temple, which is in Haifa, a city that hosts an annual holiday of holidays, celebrating all religions.
So India also has a pluralistic society. It epitomizes unity and diversity. There's 22 constitutionally recognized languages and thousands of other languages and dialects. 80% of India's population, which is 1.3 billion, are Hindus, but the remaining 20% are made up of the world's second largest Muslim population at 176 million, the world's largest Sikh and Jain populations, substantial numbers of Christians and Buddhists, and smaller numbers of Jews, Baha'i, and Zoroastrians who've been there, believe it or not, for several centuries after they were fleeing persecution in other parts of the world and made India home.
Our shared history continues to the modern era with India and Israel shedding the colonial rule of the British to declare independence within 10 months of each other.